back? Hello? So, good news. I still have a working camera. Bad news, I don't know what the fuck that was about. That was probably one of the scariest things I've dealt with in some time here on the live stream. I can't have one of these damn live streams just go and be fine, I guess. I don't know. It's a curse. But here we are. I still have a working camera, which would have been a very big problem, you know, bigger than just NHRL live streaming. I would have not known what I was going to do for my next few videos. It's not a cheap camera. But we're good. We're good. Okay, let me get off the normie screen. There we go. Get some graphics up for you guys. I'm so sorry about that, y'all. Looks like we're back at it. So sorry about that. I guess it's not my fault, but still, it was stressful, dude. What the hell? That wasn't fun. That wasn't fun. I didn't have fun. That wasn't bueno. That was less bueno. But I digress. I honestly forgot what we were even talking about. Oh yeah, we were looking at 3-pound fights. 3-pound fights. So I don't really know what else there is to add on here. I think we looked at most of the matches, I got to admit. 3-pound matches. Who's fighting Blackbird? Hot Wings and IDK WTFID? I don't know what the fuck I did, I guess. I think I nailed that. We got Faye Fan taking on Neutralization. I think these are our lowest level groups here because I don't really recognize who. Here is a big name. Death by the Hit. Fighting Spin to Win. Forfeit. There you go, Adam. Team Penguin Robotics getting one pass through there. What else do we have? Where's Filibuster fighting? That's what we want to know. Is it not on the bracket? Is it a boss bot? Wouldn't that be some shit? Let's look at the boss bots. I haven't looked at those really yet. Of course, I got a lot of the big ones. Chubby Unicorn, Caldera, Voxel. Machines that have already qualified. Apex, good drum bot there. Crash Fest, of course. Probably the best control bot in the 3-pound field. Blackbird, love Blackbird. Stoneforge, I believe this is Stoneforge's first NHRL event of the year. Of course, Clyde. We talked about Clyde. We talked about Backlash Wave. Synthesis. Speaking of Emulsifier, here's a robot that was inspired by Emulsifier. Pretty much a 3-pound version of the robot in Synthesis. And of course, our buddies, another friend of the Combot Collective in Wormhole. Robo Games veterans now hold that in their title book. Very promising robot there. Hopefully we can see them make some noise. Glad to see that they made it through a couple of rounds on default. Oh man, so I'm still mentally recovering from whatever the hell just happened. Because that was thoroughly bizarre. I mean, honestly, very strange, but let's get back at it here, guys. 12-pound class, talk about more robots you guys need to watch out for during this event. We got NHRL Finals qualifier here. We got a robot which placed second at Motorama. We got some big names here, and a robot which really impressed me last month. Let's start off with Disco from Brutus Robotics. This guy is a former NHRL finalist. Very old school robot. This machine has done a lot in its career. It's been around the block. It's been at Motorama before. It's been at various other NERC events before. Of course, it's been NHRL before with a 41 ranking here at NHRL. It's a very classic robot, 2-wheel drive, big wedge up front, vertical spinner, like something I always mention with the hobbyweight class. Hobbyweights especially, it is the house of the vertical spinner. There's drums there. There's fuck-up verts there. There's 4-wheel drive verts there. Every single style of vert under the sun, they're all there in that 12-pound class. Everyone there in Zuma Babylon. Very solid robot. Compact. Got to watch out for it, though. One of my picks to win this thing, maybe at least to make the finals. But speaking of the finals, full court from 3 Point Robotics. A former Mad Catter mini-bot is back with a weapon in name only, using a tiny action figure steel chair as its main weapon. It's pretty much a 12-pound version of Smee, and it fights like one, too. Very successful in events past, or I should say event past. This robot competed last during NHRL's March event, I want to say. I believe maybe it did appear during the Robot Combat event finals in Seattle, but don't quote me on that. Over staying on the western side of things, though, we have Nightcrawler from Team Cosmos. This robot, of course, if you remember, placed second at Motorama 2023. Really made a name for itself by destroying a plethora of Team Defective robots en route to its top 2 finish. This machine knocked out Yobnal. This machine knocked out Carmen. And this machine knocked out Cromheda back to back to back pretty much during its appearance at Motorama in February. It was a very impressive performance. And if we go back to our main overlay, I believe JCRB just uploaded this new picture of what Nighthawk looks. Sorry, not Nighthawk. What are we? RoboGames 2018. What Nightcrawler looks like for this event. A bunch of plastic armor up front to protect the egg beater drum. That's always solid. Looks like a pretty sturdy machine. More shades of Copperhead with the color. It's always been very Copperhead inspired, obviously. Robot looks really good though. Another machine coming from, is this Sunny Robotics or is this another one of the groups over there? Regardless, it's another one of those Colorado contingent robots that I've been talking about. Another very solid machine right there. Is Same Force here? We got a picture of Same Force right here, but I don't believe. Oh, maybe it is. Maybe he is competing. I don't know if I missed that or not, but Jameson Go may very well win another event. We'll just have to see how that plays out. Let's go back to our graphic here. Not that one. We'll get to that. Spoilers. We have Cthulhu now. Making sure. Sorry. Still making sure the technical bugs are all worked out because that was very trippy earlier. And then we have Cthulhu here at the back end, of course. Maximizer, Cthulhu's teammates, won the last NHRL event in May. I love Maximizer. I was so excited to see that robot pull it off and take the championship. For this upcoming event, you know, we're going to have to see how Cthulhu improved, but it looked pretty solid. I want to say it made like, what, top 8, top 16 during its appearance last month. I love the weapon. I love the driving ability. I love that big LED light in the back half of the robot. It just looks kind of cool, to be honest. Slick, very futuristic kind of vibes with the robot when I see it. I love that. And just like I mentioned at the top of these 12-pounders, we don't have enough horizontal spinners in that final group. I know we have Yoshimi. Yoshimi's a qualified 12-pound horizontal spinner, and we'll talk about that robot when we go over our qualified finalists. But yes, Cthulhu, number 34 NHRL ranking. Where are they going to be placing in the bracket? Well, let's take a quick look here. Going over our 12-pound matchups. As it's now 7:53, we're getting kind of close to an NHRL will be kicking off. I very well, actually, no, I probably shouldn't because there's a lot of robots that may need to be covered. We may not have them appear in day 2. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Look at these 12-pound matchups. Not as many robots which are getting that automatic bye to the next round. A bunch of them are Team Defective robots, which Nightcrawler has beaten in the past. Machines like Yobnal, Carmen, and Crunk. I believe Carmen and Crunk have already qualified for the NHRL finals. Yobnal hasn't. So that's going to be Team Defective's big mission right there. We also have Huge coming from Team Huge, or at least a member of Team Huge. I don't know if it's a direct affiliation or not. 2-wheel drive, big. It's a huge clone. You guys know what it is. It has made NHRL finals before. It's a solid robot. There's a reason why it's getting the bypass. Torrential and Torrent, very controversial robots there. For some people, at least, they do look very similar. Both have already qualified for the finals. They're going to be taking on some big names. Torrential is going to be taking on Minor Threat 5. More on that robot later. Torrent is going to be taking on a Nightcrawler. Very tough pair of robots there. Full Court's going to be fighting Killajoule. And Buzzkill is going to be taking on the recently mentioned Cthulhu. Look forward to that. And then in our rival group, we got some mystery robots here. Machines that we don't know too much about or not enough. Disco's taking on the Tactical Toucan. I love that name. I can't wait to see what that robot's about. I think Super Scope's also a horizontal spinner. Don't quote me on that. We got Flippin' Cut 12. They're getting the past. ROB's fighting Earl. Honeyshock's fighting the Parasites, which sounds like a multi-bot. I'm excited to see whatever that is. Bobby, of course, the 12-pound version of Billy. That's another robot you got to look out for. It's going to be taking on Woodley Wah. And big story right here. First Contact's going to be taking on Ray Billings. Fake News. That's a fight you might want to lead off the 12-pound class with. Let's see Fake News in action. I know I want to see it. So I believe this is a single elimination bracket, unfortunately, which always sucks. I don't know how well it's going to work in a 2-day event. I guess we're just going to have to see how that plays out. Just realized I forgot to cut over to the overlay. So let me just go back and run over all those fights again. Like I mentioned, Yobnal, Carmen, Crunk, and Huge already have advanced pretty much to that next round through, name value alone. Then we got Torrential versus Minor Threat, Buzzkill versus Cthulhu, Full Court versus Killajoule, and Torrent versus Nightcrawler. And then big names here, even in the first round of qualifiers, names like Disco, names like ROB, Milk Tank, Bobby, Fake News, like I mentioned, from Hardcore Robotics, making their debut here. Super stoked for that. But those are our small bots. I guess this is all small bots, but in the big picture of the game, there's only one real set of big bots in this event, and that's our 30-pounders. Let's go over to the 30-pounders now. Robots to watch out for. And in these other ones, like I mentioned, we got a lot of championship contenders to talk about here. And we got probably the championship contender to talk about here at the bottom. But this one's really more about the rookies, or even be more specific, the rookie drums. We got a whole drum line coming out to NHRL in terms of first-time robots here. There's some pretty wild designs on your screen right now if you're watching this live. Pepe Silva and Panda Drum. We'll get to those here in a second. There's disinformation again. We'll talk about that robot first. Like I mentioned, this is Ray Billings' NHRL debut, and this is his biggest robot of the bunch. Second event in 2023. And it's a very old school design. It doesn't look like a lot of the modern drum bots we see these days in machines such as Voxel and Sombra. A bit more of a boxier, old school style. I kind of question about the size of those wheels. I mean, obviously, I don't question too much. It is Ray Billings at the end of the day. It's hard to get more experience than that individual. But, it's going to be very interesting to see. This information is going to be fighting, if I look over here, Happy Meal for the very first fight. And I want to say Happy Meal is that burger bot we were looking at the top of the stream. Don't quote me on that. Could be a lot of fun. What else is a lot of fun here, though? Pepe Silva talking about that Colorado contingent invading NHRL in the House of Havoc this weekend. Well, perhaps no robot is more unique than Pepe Silva, coming from Luke Quintal out of Team Copperhead. The man himself, the new captain of Copperhead, who really brought some showmanship to the robot. But now he's bringing some showmanship to NHRL with Pepe Silva, and I hope you can read it. I don't know how it is with 480p. Well, that is a shuffling full body drum. Axe backwards, and Barbaros will be very proud. This robot weighs 45 pounds. It is incredibly complex. It is incredibly cool to look at. Looks like it's pretty good at mowing lawns, according to the weapon test we were seeing Luke Quintal do on his page. It's just such a fun-looking robot. It's sick. I hope it pulls off some crazy victories. It's going to be fighting 30 below in the first fight it's going to be having in its qualifier matchup. One thing worth noting here, he's kind of pulling a Joe Fabiani. He said, straight up with honesty, if this robot gets jacked up beyond repair, we ain't repairing it. We're just going to forfeit. It's a crazy design. It's a little bit unfortunate to hear that, disappointing, but it can't be that easy to put back together. So I'm just going to say, that's fair. What may be a little bit easier to put back together, though, is Panja Drum from Kake Robotics. That is not a traffic piece right there. And it's not just, a battery either. It's not exactly like Pepe Silva. It is not a shuffling robot. I believe it uses cleat-style wheels instead of shufflers. But if you've kept up with Robot NoobTube, I think that's the name. We've talked about this robot recently at MRCA events. We talked about it at the Robot Combat event finals in Seattle. It's a pretty crazy design. It is literally, as the name implies, a NoobTube. It is pretty much a full body drum. Literally, though, it's not like a second motion. When the robot drives forward, everything spins. It is a toilet paper roll on wheels. It is pretty crazy, pretty aggressive. Maybe NoobTube has appeared at NHRL events. Maybe I'm incorrect by that. I don't know if it's directly affiliated with the original NoobTube team or not, but a 30-pound version of that, Oh my god, it should be insane. I mean, I just love how it looks in general. Win or loss, looking like, you know, a piece of traffic material or something along that lines. Just reflective and beautiful. Very cool, Kanye. I love it. And then, of course, all these fun drum bots aside, let's be real here. Let's be real here. Who's going to win this event? Whose game is it? It's Emulsifier's game. Yeah, it's number 2 ranked in NHRL. I really don't know which which featherweight's ranked above it right now. Maybe Megatron? Maybe. Only machine I can think of. You know, the treads are still going to be there. The big plow is going to be there. That deadly vertical spinner is still going to be there. The captain from Ohio is going to be driving the robot. They're all set. They're ready to go. They probably have some mini bots on deck ready for the competition. I would not want to draw Emulsifier in the second round. And that's exactly what, as we go over here to our bracket, cutting back here, what Catalyst or Agent P is going to have to do. I do wonder if Agent P is Perry from Robo Brawl in Chicago a couple of months back, just because the names are very similar. That was a 2-wheel drive vertical spinning robot. Not the most impressive, had drive issues at Robo Brawl, so maybe for its sake, we hope not, you know. But let's look at some of these matchups here. Emulsifier, Yahoo, Waddles, Kablooey Tango, and Phenomenon, all huge names, all potential championship contenders. They're all through. Who else is here, though? Wicked Wedge XL, this is something I haven't talked about at all. YO Robotics, these guys have already qualified EVA into the competition. They have a big version of Wicked Wedge now. And we've seen some successful control robots inside the 30-pound arena in the past with, I want to say, Dragon Princess, machines such like that. We'll have to see how Wicked Wedge does, though. Tsunami, a robot which is already qualified for the NHRL finals, coming from Robo Jackets out of Georgia, is going to be the first opponent for Panja Drum. Chunky, probably my favorite robots coming out of Robo Jackets in Georgia. Full body spinner with the shuffling legs is going to be taking on Darthbot. Winner fights Yahoo. Very good matches here. Squire versus Wicked Wedge. Winner takes on Kablooey Tango. That's just all good fights right there. Knockoff White's going to be taking on Crater. I don't know if Crater is an axe bot or a flamethrower. I heard it's one of those two. We'll just have to see how it goes down. Those are our round 1 qualifier fights. The first fights you guys should be looking forward to coming into this event. Let's go ahead and see if NHRL has officially gone live. If they're going live, we'll go ahead and wrap this live stream up with our predictions, and we'll save our qualified robots for the next stream. Let's see what we got here. Hope you guys are doing good. Hope you guys are having a good time. Looks like they have kicked off live. Are we fighting robots yet, or are we just counting down?
In all of these cages, you are going to be able to catch every single.
Looks like they are getting ready, so we'll go ahead and give you guys one more thing before we pack it up for today. Not our largest stream, obviously. We did have some issues earlier on, but if you did tune in, a small handful of y'all that have tuned in for this special pre-show stream, thank you guys so much. It means the world to me, and I am so excited to watch Robot Combat with all of you guys over the sound like Porky Pig, the duration of the next couple of days. Of course, we will be back here tomorrow, an hour before NHRL kicks off again, so we will be an hour later. Thankfully, I get a little bit more sleep. God bless. Let's go for my predictions, though. You know, it's what we have to talk about here, as looks like they're probably going to be loading up this arena fairly soon, I'd have to imagine. In the 3-pound class, of course, you got to go with the defending BattleBots champion, Jameson Go with Silent Spring. The robot hasn't been fighting all year, and you know he's just been itching about it. He's got momentum on his side. He probably brought the giant nut with him to the House of Havoc to show it off, flex it off. People are talking about GZ Robotics right now more than ever, and people are going to have their eyes on this black and green wrecking machine. Let's look at that. Luke and Chris T.C.C both on our screen right now in the corner. You love to see it. 12-pound class, Minor Threat 5 from Smooth Brain Technologies. The winner of Motorama 2023 is my pick to win a 12-pound class. This picture shows Minor Threat from 2022, but one thing that makes Minor Threat so much better this year is the added Shreem. That Shremek pretty much single-handedly gave it that Motorama victory in 2023. Saved its ass so many times back in February. And because of that, honestly, I think this weapon's going to pack enough of a punch that it should be able to drive Minor Threat all the way to the finals in both this event and in November. It's going to make Minor Threat a major threat. You got to watch out for it. One event championship under its belt. Will it have more? Only time will tell. And honestly, as you can see here, off my 30-pound pick, this is just a whole parade of former champions. It's funny, I originally had Yahoo as my pick to win this class, and then when I went over the roster of robots one more time, I said, how foolish am I? I am so sorry. Oh my goodness. 30-pound class. Who else could it be? It's a Emulsifier. Of course it's a Emulsifier. Bots FC, absolute savages inside the box with this robot. As it looks like let's pan over here to this fight here. Something's happening inside the arena. I believe that's Prom 3 fighting some spinning robot. I want to say it's a vert. It looks kind of goofy, doesn't it? See, this is exactly why I don't live commentate these fights. I like his own stream. Because I just sit here, I begin watching it like golf. I don't even realize, like, oh wow, shoot, I need to talk to people. Oof.
Good speed out of money shots.
Wacky driving here by both these robots, I will say.
Such a precise driver.
Oh, he flipped him. I'd leave him over, dude. Yeah, there we go. That's a knockout. Tap out even. But yes, there we go. Let me cut back to good shot of the brick right there. Good shot over to my winner predictions, of course, one more time here. I have Jameson Go, GT Robotics, and Sawblaze taking the Beatles. Smooth Brain Technologies with Minor Threat 5 going back-to-back on event championships in 2 different states. Winning the 12-pound class. Looks like my voice is running out of gas. Jesus. And then in the 30-pound class, they want to make William Shatner very proud. Bots FC with Emulsifier. Those are my picks. Silent Spring, Minor Threat 5, Emulsifier. Big Spinners going to be the winners here, I'm expecting. Guess we'll just have to see how it goes. But let's go ahead and get you guys to the House of Havoc, to the main arena. I am your host, Sterling Brown here at the Combot Collective. If you join me for this live stream or if you're watching it after the fact, thank you guys so much. I'm sorry for the technical difficulties. That was as frustrating as it was for me as it was probably for y'all. Probably more just confusing for y'all, to be honest, but it's all good. We just saw Prom 3 win its first fight. Let's go watch more robot fights, guys. This has been Sterling Brown here at the Combot Collective. We'll figure out something for tomorrow. We're going to go over our event finalists. We're going to go over how the brackets are shaping up so far. Maybe we'll even try and do some text discussions with some of the people coming in at this event. Guys like Death by the Hit, Blackbird, Filibuster, of course. Just have to see how it plays out. We got an undercutter in the arena, and y'all want to watch it, so let's get out of here. I am your host, Sterling Brown, at the Combot Collective. Robot Combat tonight's going to be recording live on Monday as well. Stay tuned for that. It's going to be after the post-show in the evening. Post-show is going to be in the morning. But hey, see you tomorrow. Let's watch some robots fight, baby. Let's go.